So dear students, let us continue our discussion. In the last session we discussed about combination of cells, right? And particularly the discussion was about combination of cells in series, right? And in this session, in the chapter current electricity, we are going to discuss cells connected in parallel. Okay, so it is about combination of cells again, but in parallel. Okay, so now we will be having few cells connected in parallel. Okay, but as of the derivation is concerned, we just need to consider two cells connected in parallel and derive the expression for effective EMF of the combination and effective internal resistance of the combination. Okay, so as you know how to draw the parallel connection of two electrical devices, very similar to that we did with capacitors and resistors, right? Two cells connected in series, right? Like this. Now these two connected like this. Let this be the first cell of EMF E1 and internal resistance R1, and let this be the second cell with EMF E2 and internal resistance R2, and the equivalent resistance equivalent cell of the combination, be this one with the equivalent EMF EP. Okay, particularly I am calling this as EP because the cells are connected in parallel and we are getting the effective EMF of that. Okay, EP is the EMF and RP is the internal resistance of the effective cell, right? So this is about the combination and that is the effective cell, right? Now I have not drawn the complete circuit. The complete circuit should be somewhat like this. Okay, both of them should be connected to an external resistance like this, even this, the same external resistance. Okay, this resistance doesn't matter, don't need to worry about it. Now look at this, since this is series combination, there will be certain current flowing I1, there will be certain current I1 flowing in this part of the parallel circuit, okay, and certain current I2 will be flowing in this part of the parallel circuit. Okay, you have I1 flowing like this and I2 flowing like this. Now when both of them combine together, I1 and I2 came together, combined, and the net current or the total current flowing be simply I. Okay, so both the currents join here. We'll get to know about the combination, how should we add two currents at a junction, that we'll get to know when we discuss Kirchhoff's law in the next session. But for now you take the net current at this through this part of the circuit be I. Okay, here the current is I and here it is I, here it is I, here also I, again the current splits here I1, okay, and here it is I2, they come, join, and I again, okay, right. And now you have the same current, take this as the same current I flowing through the effective cell. Okay, so this is about the considerations. Let two cells with EMF E1 and E2 and resistance, internal resistance R1 and R2 respectively connected in series as shown in the diagram. Let I1 be the current through the first cell and I2 be the current through the second cell and I be the current through the effective cell and the combination. Okay. So, this is how much is the consideration part of the derivation. And now, let V be the potential difference or terminal potential difference. Okay, I can say TPD. Let V be the terminal potential difference or potential difference across the ends of the combination. Okay, this part. Okay, this is what I am talking about. Let V be the potential difference across these two terminals. Now keep one thing in mind, even though they are different cells with different EMF, when you connect them, when you connect any electrical device in parallel, the voltage across the junction, the voltage across these 2 points, the junction where the wires meet will be same. Okay. So, the voltage across them will be simply V. Okay. Keep that in mind. You put resistor here, capacitor here, whatever you want you can put in these 2 points, these 2 places, but V volts itself will be the potential difference across these 2 points. Okay, V volts. And similarly, V volts itself will be the potential difference across the terminals of the effective cell. Okay. So, this is one more consideration. We let V volts be the potential difference across the terminals of the combination from this point to this point. So, in some references they choose this point as A and this point as B and they take this as VA, the potential at this point as VA, the potential at this point as VB, and hence the potential difference becomes VA minus VB. I have directly considered that potential difference as V. Okay, instead of taking VA, VB and then VA minus VB, I am directly taking V volts as the potential difference. And even here V volts is the potential difference across the effective cell. Okay. Now, let me write the relation between V E1 R1, V E2 R2 with along with I1 and I2. Okay. So, let me concentrate on first cell. When I concentrate on first cell, I get the expression for V, okay, given by, or since it is the combination of the current which will give me the final result, I can also directly write the expression for I1, but let me write the expression for V. Okay. So, V is equal to, for the first cell, okay, first cell, V is equal to, it is E1 minus I1 R1, right. V is equal to E1 minus I1 R1, okay, the standard one. So, from this I can get I1, isn't it? I can easily obtain I1 using the relation just by transferring that, but let me do that later. Let me write the similar kind of expression for second cell. Okay. So, for the second cell this is same, V is equal to, instead of 1 it is 2, E2 minus I2 R2. Okay. And similarly for effective cell, okay, for effective cell it is going to be the same, V is equal to E P minus I R P. Okay. Now, the terms, look at the terms which will get connected with each other. The terms which will connect with each other are I1, I2 and I, isn't it? So, because the total current I here is given by I is equal to I1 plus I2, isn't it? The total current I is sum of these two currents, okay, the net current. Okay. This is again from Kirchhoff's law itself, Kirchhoff's first law. We will get to know in the next session, but this result we can directly take now. The net current I is equal to I1 plus I2. These two currents come together to give the net current I. That is it. Now let me get the expression for I1 from this expression, okay, or you can also write the direct expression for I1 if you can, if you remember that, okay, that's also fine. So from this expression I1 becomes equal to, okay, minus I1 comes here and hence it is V1 minus E1 minus V divided by R1, right. This part comes here and R1 goes to the denominator. Okay. Similarly, you can also write the expression for I2 which will become equal to E2 minus V divided by R2, and similarly for the effective cell it is I which is equal to EP minus V divided by RP. Okay. So these are the expressions for I1, I2 and I. You can name this as equations 1, 2, 3, and let me call this equation as equation number 4. Now substituting equations, okay, substituting equations 1, 2 and 3, okay, equations 1, 2 and 3 in equation 4, okay. You bring the values of I1, I2 and I from these three expressions and put them into this expression. What happens is, in place of I, now I need to write EP minus V divided by RP, okay. In place of I1 I should write E1 minus V divided by R1 plus, in place of I2 I should write E2 minus V divided by R2. Now let me divide the terms with individually with the corresponding individual one, so that I have EP by RP minus V. Okay, see I am dividing this denominator to both the numerator terms, okay, this and this. So that will be V into 1 by RP, isn't it, right? So V into 1 by RP which is equal to, look at this, this will be E1 by R1 minus, I can write this as V by R1 plus E2 by R2 minus V by R2. I could have simply written this also as V by RP, that is also fine, but I just wanted to get the similar format in both LHS and RHS of the equation. Now we have the LHS of the expression given by EP by RP, okay. So I will write that EP by RP minus V times 1 by RP which is equal to, now look here, even let me group few terms here so that I get similar format in both LHS and RHS and get the expression for EP, okay. Our intention here is to get the expression of EP and RP, okay, right. So now this E1 by R1 and E2 by R2, they look similar, I will put them in the first place. So I have E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2, right, E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 minus V, okay, V is the common factor that I can take outside, and within the braces what I will be left with, since I took minus sign as a common factor along with V, I will be left with 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 inside the braces, right. So I will be left with 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So here is the equation where we have similar format in both LHS and RHS, and hence I can by comparing I can write, okay, see these two terms are equivalent, I can simply consider them as equal, okay, and that's it. If they are equal, that is, see, this problem or this expression can have multiple solutions, but these considerations what I am making now are definitely a part of solution. They will be one of the solutions for the expression, right? Because when you take a quadratic equation, there you get two solutions, right? X is equal to one value, the x is equal to some other value. Similarly, this can have multiple solutions, but the one that I am taking here will definitely be one of the solution of the expression, okay. So, it will be one of the solution. So, I can say, so this EP by RP is equal to, look at this, we have E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2. So, this is an expression for EP, okay. You can send this RP there, and R1, R2 can be displaced. You can play with that, okay. But this is one final expression. You can keep this as the final expression of the derivation. Now, what about the internal resistance? Look at this, these two terms are similar. So, I can say the effective internal resistance 1 by Rp, not simply Rp, 1 by Rp, which is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, okay. So, that is it. We finally have the expressions for effective EMF of parallel combination of cells EP and effective internal resistance of parallel combination of cells. Now, one thing that we should be aware of is, in order to get the effective EMF of combination of cells, we must have the value of Rp, the effective internal resistance of the cells, also R1 and R2, okay. These values are required to get EP, okay. But when it comes to series combination, there we do not need the values of R1, R2 or RS and all, isn't it? We just need the values of E1, E2 to get ES, series combination, when it is in series combination. But when you have parallel combination somewhat like this, you must need Rp, R1 and R2 to get the value of EP. Anyhow, they will give E1, okay. These are the given factors when you go for problems. E1 they will give, E2 they will give, R1 they will give, R2 they will give. Once you have R1 and R2, you can obtain Rp. Once you have Rp, R1, R2, E1, E2, you can get EP, okay. This is how you can solve problems based on this, and this expression can be reduced to get EP is equal to, see, it is you can write this as Rp times E1 R1 plus E2 E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 R2, right. R2 comes here, R1 taking the LCM, I get E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 R2 in the LCM. So, Rp goes there. Now, look, do you have something similar with this term, Rp by R1 plus R1 plus Rp by R1 R2? See, when you simplify for this, okay, using this expression, I can write, see what happens with this. This is the end of the derivation, okay, but this final expression again is one important expression which will be helpful, okay, and it's always suggested to extend the derivation till this point, the next step, okay. So, now look from this, what will be Rp actually equal to? Rp will be equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2, okay. If we can take this is very similar to resistors in parallel, okay, nothing else. Now, look at this. If you send R1 R2 here, okay, you will have Rp by R1 R2 is equal to 1 by R1 plus R2, right. So, I can replace Rp by R1 R2 by R1 by R1 plus R2, and hence I get Ep is equal to E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay. So, I always suggest you to extend the derivation till this formula, okay, because remembering this formula will help you in solving problems. This formula is fine, okay, this is one of the result, but you end the derivation with this result, clear with that. So, this can be taken as the final result. Two results, one is this and the other is this, because it is suggested to bring it here because this formula does not have Rp in it, okay, because Rp itself is a result of the derivation. So, let us not use a result of the derivation in the other result, which is Ep's one, EMF's one. Here R1, R2, even E2 are directly given, okay, you do not need to work for Rp and then get Ep when you have this expression. When you have this expression, they will give even E2, R1, R2, you can directly obtain Ep, okay. So, this is about the derivation of combination of cells in parallel. Now, let us see few special cases of the derivation. The special case of the expression or the derivation is as follows. The first special case is when you connect one cell. The regular parallel combination is like this, okay, positive terminal, a wire, a connection from positive terminal of one cell going to the connection from positive terminal of the other cell, positive, positive, okay, both of them coming to the same point. Similarly, here negative terminal of one cell and negative terminal of the other cell coming together like this. Okay, this is what we have derived. The expression for this is what we have derived. Now, if you have the other cell, the second cell connected in the opposite way, okay, we normally call this as anti-parallel connection. Okay, when you have anti-parallel connection like this, then what happens is you consider if you have the EMF of this as E1 and this as E2, then instead of E2, okay, whenever you have E2 there and all, you make use of minus E2, okay. E2 should be replaced by minus E2 in the final expression when you have one of the cell connected in the opposite way or anti-parallel to the first cell, clear. So, this is one of the special case and no changes will occur with the resistance will remain the same, okay, positive itself, no need to worry. But this you need to keep in mind when you have one of the cell connected in the opposite way. The second special case is when you have n cells in parallel, okay, n cells connected in parallel. For this situation, the effective EMF EP by Rp is given by EP by Rp is equal to, we will stick with this result, we will not go to this result, that would become complex, we will stick with this result and write the expression. So, using that we will have EP by Rp is equal to E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 plus so on plus En by Rn. And when it comes to the internal resistance of n cells connected in parallel, okay, for n cells connected in parallel, the effective internal resistance 1 by Rp is given by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 so on plus 1 by Rn. Okay, these are the expressions which have to be preferred when you have more than two cells connected in parallel. Okay, it is not something like n means it is not something theoretical. You should make use of them. You should make use of these expressions when you have three cells connected in parallel, right? For all those connections with more than three cells connected in parallel, you have to make use of these expressions itself, Clear with this? Right. So, the next special case for n similar cells, okay, for n similar or same cells, okay, or identical cells. For n identical cells connected in parallel, we will have EP by Rp is equal to, since all of them are identical, all these terms E1 by R1, E2 by R2, they will be equal, and there will be n times E by R, where E is the EMF of each cell and R is the internal resistance of each cell. Okay. And using the expression of Rp, okay, because for n cells, what is 1 by Rp equal to? For n cells, 1 by Rp equal to internal resistance, it's n by R, isn't it? Now look, we will get one more result. So 1 by Rp is equal to it's n times 1 by R, right? All of them are same, identical cells now. So internal resistance and EMF, both of them will be same. So 1 by Rp is equal to n by R. So in place of n by R, I can put Rp itself, isn't it, or 1 by Rp. So we will get an interesting result here. When you have n identical cells connected in parallel, you will simply be left with EP is equal to E. Okay. So this is one of the important result, and this result I did do for series combination, the n similar cells, n identical cells connected in series, that you do, okay, the previous one. Clear with this? So this is about combination of cells in parallel. Thank you.